Welcome back, my fellow Chibits, to the weekly Chibit questions, and as always, I'm here to answer a bunch of different questions you all have asked me, and so let us begin. What are your top 5 favorite superheroes slash villains? Now, you didn't necessarily clarify. Does this actually mean, like, heroes and villains from anime and manga, or can this extend over to, like, DC, Marvel type stuff? Or this is, like, one of my #1 favorite villains, would definitely be the Joker. Now, not just any Joker, Heath Ledger's Joker from, The Dark Knight. That Joker, to this day, every time I actually watch that movie and I see the performance of Heath Ledger, I'm like, damn, that is just such a tremendous job. Like, the man went all in when he was acting Joker, and he brought the character to life. So definitely probably one of my favorite villains, especially after watching that movie. Let's see here. Another villain I like. I really like, Johan from, Monster. If you've ever read the manga or watched, the anime, both are good. Griffith is definitely one of my favorite villains as well. He is from Berserk. If you've ever, read Berserk, which you shouldn't watch the anime. Like, the anime is just, like, garbo. But, in the manga, Griffith is such, oh my god, the villain, Griffith, I have never seen a villain quite like him. Just how far he can go to obtain his objective is just, it blew my mind. I'll tell you right now, if you don't know how savage Griffith is, and if you've never read the manga Berserk, I truly recommend you to read it. Saruman from Lord of the Rings. I really, really love his character. I know there's other ones out there that are stronger or crazier, like Sauron, for instance, in the books, but I mean, and also Morgoth as well. Morgoth is pretty ridiculous, and I do like Balrog as well, but I really like Saruman. I don't know, I've always liked Saruman. I always liked his style and how he kind of fell from grace and all that. He was, the original, like, white wizard and all that, so I definitely would say Saruman. I would add him from that. Let's do just superheroes. Luke Cage. Luke Cage is pretty badass. I don't know, just the style of Luke Cage is pretty freaking epic. So yeah, I would go, Luke Cage. Have you considered the similarities? Samurai Jack. Oh my god. Okay, obviously it's a coincidence, but holy shit, the similarities are ridiculous. Bro. Okay, you just blew my mind. Wow, I never considered it, but now, like, wow. Hey, Chibi, do you remember this? By the way, it was from your Hunter x Hunter review. Since it's coming back, I thought I would do some throwbacks. Oh, that's cringe. Oh, that's cringe. That's, oh, that is some cringe. Oh, fuck. Why do you continue to read Fairy Tail if it's that bad? I've read it for so long, I might as well see the shit end. I mean, it's only got like 9 or 8 chapters left, so seriously, if I was to drop it now, I'd be kind of brain dead. So, I've read it for so long, so many years, basically since it began, like the manga first came out, I haven't dropped it, because I mean, I've been with it for just so long. I need to know how it ends. Even if it's going to be absolute shit and probably the worst manga of all time, I still need to know how it's going to end, so there you go. I just want a reaction to this masterpiece of art. What in the fuck happened to Shinji? Lick Esdef's boots for an hour or get whipped by Madam Vice President, prison school, 50 times. Number one, let's like look at the, the details here, okay? Esdef, she's savage, yandere, and she would kill your ass. She would destroy you, okay? You mess with her. But Madam Vice President, yes, she's savage as well, but she won't kill you. So, I'm weighing my options here. Like, okay, Esdef is, oh my god, like, she's some waifu material, just the way she looks. And looks department, damn. Madam Vice President as well, pretty nice. So, I don't know, they both are beautiful. But at the same time, though, I gotta look at it like this. Which one would hurt me more? Because I don't necessarily like pain. I've said this already. I don't really like pain. So, I don't know. The Madam Vice President thing, that seems like something I wouldn't like. I definitely wouldn't. But at the same time, though, I'm not into, feet as well. I don't have a foot fetish or anything. So, I wouldn't say Esdef either would be very enjoyable. So, I'm weighing my options here. Because, regardless, I feel like Esdef would kill my ass once it's done. Madam Vice President would probably, I don't even know. So, they're both very bad. But they're both very bad in a way. I mean, they're both hot, yes, but I mean, I would go with Madam Vice President. I'm sorry. I mean, I like Esdef, don't get me wrong now. I like her. Just, am I in defeat? But at the same time, though, just I feel like my life would be in a very big predicament. I'd probably die before everything is said and done. So, I'd go Madam Vice President. Favorite nin ability? That's a good one. That's a pretty good one. I'm surprised. No one has actually ever asked me that. You'd think someone would. I'm liking these Hunter x Hunter questions recently because, I mean, I love Hunter x Hunter, and now that, you know, Togashi's coming back to write Hunter x Hunter, I'm glad to see more. I'm glad to see the Hunter x Hunter fans come back. Let's see. My favorite nin ability. There is just so much out there. So many crazy nin abilities that have happened. I mean, even weaker characters have some insane abilities. I don't know. I guess my favorite, like, okay, in terms of how complex it is, I would go with, Kuroro. I think that's how you pronounce his name. It's been a long time, so forgive me. But, you know, the Phantom Trope leader. I would say he has the most interesting ability. Like, his ability is very complex, and I really love the design of it. But if I had to say just downright favorite, just because of how epic it was, I would say Netero's nin ability. Just Netero's Buddha is like a 100-hand Buddha. Like, oh my god. Like, when I saw that in the anime, I remember fangasming. I remember jumping up for joy. I remember just, like, slinging my freaking wallet at the freaking screen. I remember doing, I'm like, oh my god, this is so good. I think I have a video where I did that. Like, no joke. I think I do. So, just like, oh my god. Like, I would say Netero. Have you seen Voltron, and if so, what is your opinion on it? I haven't seen Voltron. I know it's on Netflix. I just haven't gotten around to it. I actually want to watch the Blame, you know, movie that came out or whatever on Netflix. That's something I really want to see. I saw it on Netflix. I want to see that. What was your biggest fail in a game? Ooh, there's a lot of fails I have had in a game, but I have to say one that stands out amongst all of them, and it's one that really stings me to this day, would be the fail of when I was playing Dark Souls 2. Now, hear me out, okay? I was playing Dark Souls 2, and I don't know how many of you play it. I don't know how many of you Chibits actually play Dark Souls or the Souls games or whatever, and I know many don't like Dark Souls 2 because, aka people say it's the shit version of Dark Souls. Regardless of what people feel, I actually like Dark Souls 2. I really found it fun and enjoyable, and the end game was really awesome. And then, you know, new game pluses and stuff, bonfire aesthetics, and there was just a lot of fun to be had in Dark Souls 2. A lot of replayability. Now, one of the big things about Dark Souls 2 that really stood out amongst the others, Dark Souls 3 as well, and Bloodborne and all that, basically, Dark Souls 2 had an option to where if you could do a no bonfire run and a no death run, you would get two different rings. You would get rings that would make your weapons invisible. So imagine like your right hand weapon being invisible and your shield hand being invisible as well. Basically, you can have any equipment you want, but nobody will know what you have in your hand while you wear these two rings. And so they were cosmetic, but at the same time, they could be very insane for PvP situations. And so I was really interested in these rings, and I like the appeal of it, of how you had to go that far to try to get these, because not everybody could get these rings. You would have to, you know, either A, do a no bonfire run, or no death run, and you can do them both at the same time, but it'd be very hard. Well, I played Dark Souls 2 quite a bit. I poured hundreds upon hundreds of hours into Dark Souls 2. I know the nooks and crannies of the game, and I loved it so much. I mean, I love playing Dark Souls 2. Probably the one Dark Souls I put more time into than all the others. No joke. I mean, I played all of them a fuck ton, but I played a lot out of Dark Souls 2. And the thing is that, I tried to do the, you know, no death run and no bonfire run at the same time. And for the most part, I did pretty fine. FYI, you don't need to, you know, kill all the bosses. You don't need to go to the DLC and all that to get the no ring, like the ring that's, you know, invisible and all that for your weapons, like the no death, no bonfire run. You just need to beat the final boss. For instance, you know, the final boss to where you get the credit scene. So basically, you only have to kill like 12 or 13 or so bosses. It's not that bad. I mean, it's bad, but it's not that bad. And the thing is when I attempted it, I did pretty good. I got to, like, the final part of the game. Like, the final boss, basically. Nasandra. And I was really tired. It was, like, 4 a.m. in the morning. I already did, like, an all-dayer and then all-nighter, kind of. And I was just tired as fuck. And basically, I finally got there. I was about to defeat Nasandra, and I rolled off the fucking cliff. Dead as fuck. I fucking died. Because of me being tired and not fucking paying attention. A cliff killed my ass. Then, me being so tired and brain dead and realizing I fucked up and also being mad on top of that, I accidentally sat down at the bonfire. And I'm like, are you fucking serious right now? Like, are you fucking serious, Jacob? Like, you at the very least could have done the no bonfire run, but you had to fucking lay down at the bonfire. Yes, I didn't get the no death one, but are you fucking serious? Like, you could have gotten the no bonfire run, and I fucked up. I sat down. And it took me like 10 seconds. Just imagine my blank face, and I'm just sitting there at the bonfire, and I'm like, wait. And, like, I was tired as suck, but then I wake up. Like, I was wide awake when I did it. I'm like, and I was just so mad. As soon as I did that, no joke, I quit Dark Souls 2, and I have not played it since. I've not played it since. No joke. I have not touched the game since that, because my salt was on a whole new level. Are you going to review House of Cards? Most likely not. I've asked many times in the past about how people would feel about live-action show reviews, and for the most part, usually it winds up in the negative side. Many don't really care much about it, or they don't really think I should do it. I should stick to anime and manga. I am interested in doing stuff like that, but not many seem like they would relatively care about it, which makes me kind of sad, because I would like to talk about stuff like Daredevil, you know, Luke Cage and all that stuff, Jessica Jones, and House of Cards, when Game of Thrones finally returns, you know, Better Call Saul. I love shows. I love watching stuff, just besides anime and manga. I go out of my way to watch other shows. Now, I don't watch movies as much, but I watch TV shows, and so kind of makes me sad that not many really care about that, because I've asked many times, but it's always been conflicted to where it's like 50-50, or it's mainly in the negative where people are like, nah, don't fucking do it, and kind of makes me sad, but that's just how it is. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you focus your entire channel on anime and manga related stuff, so it's to be expected. It really is. I can understand why people would say it, because not many really like, you know, change. But yeah, I'm probably not going to review it, but I love the series, and I'm not finished with Season 5 yet that came out on Netflix, like, yesterday, but oh my god, like, oh my god, it's so good, ooh, it's so good, it's, yo, Frank, man, Frank is being crusty. Have you tried any New Zealand treats, like, Whittaker's, hopefully I'm saying these right, Whittaker's Chocolate, RJ's Licorice, Lewis's Road Creamery Milk? No, I have not. If I have in the past, I know I've eaten some candy on my vlogs, but I don't remember if I ate those, so I have no idea. How did the strawberry chocolate coffee taste? Ah, yes! Okay, so I mentioned that on Twitter like 3 days ago? Yeah, it was a bit ago. Basically, I mentioned how I got strawberry chocolate coffee, flavored coffee, and I tried it. It's okay. It's okay. Like, okay, like, let me explain. It's good, but it tastes wrong. It tastes, how can I say it? It's so sweet flavored that when I want to put sugar and creamer in it, it doesn't taste right. And I'm a man that really likes that type of stuff. I like sugar and cream, and I don't know, just something about it, it just doesn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't. As someone claimed / married your waifu, would you fight to get her back? Oh, hell yes. Now, are we talking about 2D or 3D, FYI? Now, if we're talking 2D, I'll challenge you at some, you know, Tic Tac Toe, because I know the best way to win in any Tic Tac Toe match. If I start off as X, I will whoop any of you. Any of you Chibits that challenge me to Tic Tac Toe, no joke, I will whoop your ass. Like, I am the Tic Tac Toe master. Have you ever heard about this manga, Kimetsu no Yaiba? Was recommended by Togashi, and everyone says it has a lot of potential. I heard about Togashi recommending something in the past, but I didn't know exactly the name. Kimetsu no Yaiba. Yaiba, or however I pronounce that? I need to look that up. Anything that Togashi recommends most likely is going to be good, because that man is a quality writer. So if he likes something, obviously it's going to be good. So I am curious to see what that series is about. I'll check it out. I will. I'll give you my word on that. Do you like competitive Halo like in eSports? I used to watch it a long time ago, but not anymore. I mainly keep up with Smite and stuff. That's my main eSports to really keep up on. What will Chibi watch in summer 2017? I feel like this is a troll because I've said my piece on this many times. But I do not make my what I will watch videos until I finish one series from the season. For instance, when series start wrapping up, like episode 11 or 12 comes around, all that series are starting to wrap up, that is when I make this. That is when I make Summer of Anime 2017. That's when I make these, what I will watch. So, yeah, just an FYI. It's like only week 8 or 9 right now for a lot of series. So we got a couple more weeks until I finally do that. Chibi, what scene of a movie that's really scared you? Mine would be The Ring. That's why I don't like my TV on sometimes, lol. I remember when I watched The Ring, it scared me when I was a kid. But one of the most horrifying scenes of a movie that got me, I think, would be the Freddy Krueger scene where he rips the person's tendons out and he controls them like a puppet. I remember that scene vividly in my mind, and if I was to go back at it right now, I'd probably laugh at it, like to see the effects and the way it's animated and stuff. But at the time of when I watched that, Nightmare on Elm Street Freddy Krueger movie, when he, like, ripped the student's, entire veins out and was literally just moving on like a puppet and all that, and it was creepy as hell, I was scared. But if I was to go back, I'd probably laugh, but still, that was probably one of the scariest moments for me when I was a kid, when I was watching stuff. Important question: if you have a cupcake without frosting, is it a muffin? I would say a cupcake is just a cake without frosting, while a muffin is a muffin in itself. It's like bread. What are your thoughts on the word otaku? Insult? Just a term to describe anime and manga fans? Is it negative or positive? Now, I'm not blind to the fact that when it comes to Japan, otaku is actually an insult. It's like a term to put someone down, and it's very negative. So you shouldn't really want to be called otaku in Japan, from what I have heard. However, me being someone that is in America, and I'm into, anime and manga, and I guess you can consider me an otaku, do I think it's negative? Maybe in some cases, depending on how you view it, but personally, I think it's a positive thing. I feel like you should fully accept who you are and the passion you have. I mean, don't be upset with what you love and what you hate. I mean, if you love anime and manga, you love anime and manga. If someone wants to spit on you and being an asshole because of what you like, let them be an asshole. That's their own fault. I mean, they're wasting their own time hating and being angry at you when you can just enjoy your stuff and be passionate about what you love. So, I feel like there's no time to just worry about what others think about you. I feel like you should view it positively, that, hey, I know what I like, I know what I hate, and I like anime and manga, so that's my viewpoint on it. What is a Covfefe? A president that doesn't know how to spell a word on Twitter. On a scale from 1 to bad, how bad are the rest of your secret fetishes? Feel free to share some of your fetishes. Now, I'm not going to share any more, honestly. I would say a solid 7. No, I would say a solid 7. I'm not going to go any further than that. Why didn't you get my "do you really believe in your own hype" that much? Reference with my question last week. I thought you were a fan. Okay, I know. It's a reference to Team 4-Star, and it completely went over my head. I was kind of out of it, wasn't really thinking about it, and it just like, whoop, right over the head. So, forgive me for not really understanding that when I read it the first time, so forgive me, but I understand what it's from now. All Might in his prime versus Whitebeard in his prime. Who would win? Okay, look, I love All Might. I fanboy constantly about All Might, and I've talked about in length about All Might's potential if he was in his prime after reading certain parts in the manga. No spoilers, don't worry, I know many of you are anime onlys. However, regardless of how powerful All Might is, how much devastation we have seen from All Might, from flashbacks or from events in the manga, we have to say right now, there is just no way All Might could fight someone like Whitebeard. Let's just look at the details here, okay? All Might is pretty much, in a way, a typical superhero. He has a lot of strength, physical strength, so he can move very fast because of the strength, wind pressure, all that, just because of how insane he is. Whitebeard, however, is someone that is also very, very physically strong. We have saw this man launch hundreds of people in the air with his weapon. That's just how much strength he has. This was without using his abilities. But on top of that, if we factor in his abilities, Whitebeard could literally break the planet. He could shift the planet and just destroy it because of his Quake fruit. He was ridiculous. And this is not even factoring in, like, the other side of Devil Fruit. For instance, the Awakened Devil Fruit. We don't even know how far Whitebeard could have went. We really don't know. We have no idea how Whitebeard would have been if he would have had an Awakened Devil Fruit. From all we know, that could have been his Awakened Devil Fruit we saw throughout the entirety of the arc, or it wasn't. We don't know. However, we gotta factor that in. And we also have to factor in hockey as well, which Whitebeard is very good at. So, when you factor in defenses, to the overall strength without his power, to his power, I don't think All Might would probably stand a chance. Now, don't get me wrong. I do think All Might would put up a fucking crazy-ass fight. Like, All Might would do insane. Like, in terms of just physical strength, okay? Let's just throw that in for a second, okay? Physical strength. If it was down to punches, kicks, and all that, and Whitebeard using his weapon, I think that it would be a fairly balanced fight. Maybe All Might might be stronger than Whitebeard in some cases because of what we have seen. However, if it came down to abilities as well, for instance, Whitebeard going in with Quake Fruit, Hockey probably, Awakened Devil Fruit, all of this, I feel like Whitebeard would win. But like I said, if we were to put it on a level playing field where it was just physical strength against physical strength, All Might is very fast. And we have seen Whitebeard tank quite a bit, but could he tank the punches of All Might if he was to go in and just punch the hell out of Whitebeard? That is the question. So overall, I would say everything stands in Whitebeard's corner, but depending on how the fight is set up, I feel like All Might win. How's life? Life is good, I guess. I mean, got a full belly, have a cup of coffee, talking to you Chibits and the Chibit questions. Power's finally back on. It's not off like it's been. Oh my god, fuck that this week. So yeah, life is good. Life is good. Senpai, if you are in a bad mood, do you prefer to be left alone or have someone to cheer you up? If I'm in a bad mood, I do like to be around people, but at the same time, I know how bad I can be when I am around people. So it's best if I don't be around people. So I know that's confusing what I said. Basically, I would love to be around someone to cheer me up. But at the same time, though, I know how toxic I can be when I am negative, when I am in a bad mood. Like, if I'm pissed off and angry, sometimes I might yell and say things I don't mean to people that are close to me or just my friends in general. And I don't mean it. I just take out my aggression on them because it's just my way of sometimes venting. And so, I know it's best if I am in a very bad mood not to be around someone. It's best if I'm left alone, because I don't want to hurt someone's feelings or whatever. Any announcements or trailers you're hoping for to announce on E3? I'm really looking forward to the Terra MMO announcement. Like, I know there has to be something on Terra that's going to be announced. If you've ever heard of Terra's MMO, you know that's going to be exciting because it's coming to console. So I'm looking forward to playing that, and most likely it will get, you know, some form of news. Most likely Sea of Thieves will get news as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Probably other things are going to get announced, like MMOs and stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things, and I'm looking forward to whatever Bethesda says. Like, I want to know what Bethesda's going to say. I wonder if they're going to make a new Elder Scrolls, or if they're going to, you know, maybe remaster, you know, Oblivion or something. I would really like that. That'd be really cool if they did something like that. So, yes, I'm going to watch it. I'm looking forward to it. I know you're a fan of Daredevil on Netflix. What do you think of Wilson Fisk as a villain? I think he's terrifying. Wilson Fisk is probably the best villain of all the Netflix shows I have seen. Hands down, one of the best villains. He is freaking insane. The way he can just manhandle the Daredevil, just grab this man and just fucking body slam him on the ground and just beat the shit out of him. I'm like, bro, this man is savage. He just grabs Daredevil, doesn't care, and just wears his ass out. Like, yo. Wilson Fisk is not someone you want to mess with, because normally when it comes to supervillains and stuff, they usually are those crusty people, especially someone like him that's like a mob boss or whatever. They're the ones that sit in the background, they have the guns or whatever, and they don't get physical. They don't go in there and just start beating someone up. Wilson Fisk, this man will just grab your ass and just break you up against the wall. So, I say he's a really good villain. The actor really nailed the villain role and did a very good job with him. So, yes, best villain, I think, of all the Netflix Marvel shows. When did you watch your first hentai? I think when I was 11. Or maybe 10. I don't know. It depends. Give or take a few. So, yeah. Basically, with that, I want to be ending this Chibit questions. Thank you so much for all of you tuning in and watching this video. I do appreciate it. I thank you all for supporting me and, you know, liking the video or whatever. It does help out a lot. Thank you so much. And you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi.